contained in our democratic constitution.
Significant advances in expanding opportunities and access to South Africans in a number of ways, in matters that affect their lives. And we may not have addressed all the needs, but a foundation has been built. In areas such as provision of their health, basic services, housing, and education, and many other areas. There can be no doubt that we have begun to transform our society and our country, and indeed our economy as well. And yet, much as we have done all this, vestiges of our apartheid past remain. The shadow of apartheid still continues to cast its own shadow on our present and our future. Inequality, poverty, unemployment, violence, and social discord affect the lives of millions of South Africans and hold back our country's progress. Our economy has not been growing, and the numbers of unemployed people has been rising. In many areas, we have seen a deterioration in governance, a decline in the delivery of services, and widespread corruption and the wastage of public resources. At the same time, we have seen an increasing disengagement by many people from the democratic process, as witnessed by the turnout of people who did not vote in the May 2024 elections. The national dialogue, therefore, is an opportunity to mobilize South Africans to address these challenges and restore our country to the path of transformation, of development and progress. It should be seen as an opportunity to build on the achievements of the last 3 decades by defining a shared vision and a common program to take our country forward. The national dialogue draws on a rich tradition of discussion, debate, and united action. In fact, we can safely and confidently say that dialoguing is not a new phenomenon to South Africans. We've held a number of dialogues, and many of those, if not all, have been truly positive or have yielded positive results. The latest one we held was when we drafted our constitution. We had a national dialogue which involved hundreds of thousands of our people and had to deal with millions of documents and suggestions that were proposed and submitted. That in itself ended up with a very good product, a compact, which constitutes our constitution today. At critical moments in our history, we have come together as a people to confront our difficulties and find solutions to our problems. From the Freedom Charter to the drafting of our constitution, as I said, From the National Peace Accord to our response to the devastating COVID pandemic, South Africans have always pursued dialogue, cooperation, and partnership. What is our strength? Is our diversity. We are a diverse people with different cultures, languages, political traditions, and viewpoints. While this diversity makes for robust and often noisy debate, it does mean that we have a wealth of experience and perspectives on which to draw lessons. The National Dialogue seeks to provide a platform for this richness of ideas to be brought to bear on the challenges that we face. The National Dialogue does not and is not aimed at displacing the democratic processes mandated by our Constitution. Its outcomes cannot supersede the electoral mandates that the parties that contested for elections and were finally elected into our parliament carry, as well as cannot supersede the mandates of the executive of the nation. But it can deliver a social compact that outlines clear commitments and responsibilities for different stakeholders, for government, for political parties themselves, for business, for labor, for civil society, as it manifests itself in many, many divisions. It could be religious, it could be sports, it could be cultural, it could be all manner of divisions of civil society. And it can also do so for individual citizens of South Africa. The task that we have is to ensure that the outcomes of the national dialogue can be institutionalized in a manner that informs and guides the direction that our country can take. We have been clear that this dialogue must be as inclusive as possible. It cannot be partisan. It cannot favor one group or perspective over another. It needs to be citizen-led, and the outcomes need to reflect the collective views of the people of South Africa. While the head of state has a constitutional mandate to convene the national dialogue, and while government should use its capacity and resources to support and facilitate this process, the national dialogue is neither government-driven nor directed. Citizens must be able to freely and fully participate in the national dialogue as individuals, in their organized formations, and through representative bodies. That is why the Eminent Persons Group is so eminently important. It brings together prominent and respected South Africans from across society, from many fields of endeavor and experiences as well. As eminent, you are not being asked to represent any particular constituency or organization. Rather, you are being called upon to use your experience, your acumen, your knowledge, and your energy to give South Africans confidence that participation in the national dialogue can help to advance their interests and secure their future. We are asking you as eminent persons to be the champions of the national dialogue, not cheerleaders. We expect that you will critically consider the progress and the conduct of the national dialogue and provide advice where correction is required. If there are people being left out, we ask that you raise it. If there is confusion or misunderstanding or disarray, we ask that you help correct it. If there are groups that seek to commandeer the process, we ask that you alert us. We expect that the national dialogue process will be contested. The country is contested, that it may be used to score political points or to advance particular interests. We should not be surprised if there is skepticism or disinterest from some quarters of South African society about the national dialogue. We have already been confronted by the challenge of misinformation and misrepresentation, whether on what is perceived as the high cost of the national dialogue or on who is running it. But that should not distract us from the work that we have to do, to give a platform to be heard, and so that they may be counted. What I do know for a fact about South Africans is that they want to be heard. They want to participate. They want to be included in whatever process that is meant to direct their lives, to improve their lives, or to take their lives forward. We should therefore not fear criticism. In fact, we should welcome it. Criticism, in the end, is a signal that South Africans care about the country and are heavily invested in its future. Most critics want a national dialogue that is effective and inclusive, and we should give them that. This eminent persons group should be ensuring that we give South Africans that which they want: effectiveness and inclusivity. Dissenting voices make the debate richer and should make the outcomes more robust and more meaningful. We should therefore not fear those who are dissenters. This meeting marks the start of the work of the Eminent Persons Group, work that promises to be both challenging and rewarding. As the Eminent Persons Group comes to understand its own role and set out its tasks, we must recognize and appreciate the long road and the hard work that has brought us to this point. Since a number of people have made calls for a national dialogue, and these have ranged from our religious organizations. I specifically remember when the South African Council of Churches said that we need to have a national dialogue. A number of other business people also said so. And the message was articulated more strongly by former President Thabo Mbeki in April last year, This call has been taken up by our people and formations from across society. The convening of a national dialogue was endorsed by myself as the President of the Republic, and it has been endorsed by 10 political parties that constitute the Government of National Unity in their statement of intent, and is incorporated in the government's medium-term development plan. Over the course of several months, the group of foundations named for eminent stalwarts, working together with a number of civil society organizations, took an initiative to start advocating and mobilizing for the national dialogue. This work has been fundamental to the conceptualization and the design of the national dialogue as we have it today. It now finds organizational expression in the preparatory team, which brings together the foundations and civil society formations and the presidency. And in the presidency, in terms of the workings thereof, as led by the Deputy President. And this has led to the making of the practical arrangements for the first National Convention, which we would like to be held in August. Today's meeting is an opportunity for the eminent persons, yourselves, to be briefed more fully on the national dialogue, on the role of the Eminent Persons Group, and on the preparations that are being made as we speak for the first National Convention. Importantly, it is an opportunity for the Eminent Persons Group to ask questions and to share their reflections on the national dialogue. After each one of you will have been given an opportunity to introduce yourself so that everybody in this zoo gets to know who is who in the zoo. Once again, allow me to take this opportunity with my faltering voice to welcome you to this meeting, and I truly thank you for agreeing to take on this very important responsibility as eminent South Africans, people who are recognized, who are respected, and who are upheld by millions of our people across the board. You are a collective that brings together young and old, that brings together men and women, that has sought to bring together people from various regions of our country, that has also sought to bring together various persuasions, professions, careers, and endeavors. This, I believe, is a diverse group, and a diverse group that is going to give real value to the work that we have to do. Your job, therefore, is to be the champions of the national dialogue and, in a way, to be the guarantors of the work that is going to come out of the national dialogue. With those words, I welcome you and thank you for having agreed to take on this job. I would now like, as my voice continues to falter, to hand over to the Deputy President to then steer this meeting and go to the next item, DP.
Thank you very much. very much, Mr. President, and we wish you speedy recovery. Let me also take this opportunity to welcome all the eminent persons here present, ministers and DGs and government officials and also members of the media and other participants. You all welcome. In terms of our agenda, we have to now go to introductions. I'm told I have to do this in 10 minutes, so you can understand how long you should take introducing yourself. So let's try that. Let's start on my left with Sis Barbara. And I'm going to go right round. Sis Barbara?
Now that you've finished hugging the DP.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Barbara Masekela, and has been really hit by the press because we are old. I didn't know there was so much ageism in South Africa, but I think that, it's a great honor to be part of the national dialogue. And I think I just want to say one thing, which is that if you look at our constitution, there's a recurrent theme. Our whole constitution is constructed to return our people to dignity, because we were stripped of our dignity. And I see the national dialogue in all its aspects as a serious attempt to fulfill our constitution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Deputy President. Good morning, members of the National Dialogue, Eminent Persons Group. I am Honorable Kubai, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. President, Deputy President, Eminent Persons responsible for the National Dialogue. My name is Cyril. I'm the Minister in the Presidency and the Member of the ANC.
Thank you.
Good morning, President, eminent persons, honorable members of Parliament, and members of the ANC. I suspect that this is mine.
No stress. What did you say?
This is suspecting why he's here.
Oh, okay.
He's not an eminent person.
Yeah.
Good morning, Deputy President. Good morning, Your Excellency President. I am Honorable Cyril, Minister of
Good morning, Honorable President. Good morning, DP. Good morning, eminent persons. My name is Katie Mackenzie. I'm the Minister of Happiness.
Good morning, President. Good morning, Deputy President. Good morning, eminent persons. My name is Zohele Kamso, Minister of Land Reform and Rural Development.
Good morning, President, Deputy President, eminent persons, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pastor, Minister of Trade, Industry and Communities.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, eminent persons and everyone else. My name is Diana Lius, and I'm the first Black woman who has won South Africa. And thank you so much for this opportunity
Mr. President, Deputy President, Ministers present here, and members of the Eminent Group persons. I am Cyril. I was saying that when I was looking at the list, I wasn't surprised, but I asked the question as well as I, as Eminent, as everyone else in the list, when I got the invitation, there was a clear comment when the call came. I said, well, I think there's a mistake. I don't think I'm into it as me as Eminent person, and the person I was talking to says, well, the president would need to pass. So I acknowledge his appreciation and invitation, Mr. President. But this morning, because I live very far, I woke up and I thought, what do people ask you to prove that you go to the invitation by the president? And I thought, well, dare not leave the house unless you printed the invitation letter. So, Mr. President, I printed the letter if you want to make sure that I am invited to be here. So, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
We'll frame it for you.
Good morning, Mr. President, Deputy President, Ministers, persons. My name is Cyril, I'm an entrepreneur and innovator and a champion of the annual interpretation of the answer. Yes.
There's a planet in the solar system named after that young man. The whole planet. So if Elon Musk was here, he would take us there.
especially history telling, shall matter in my lifetime.
Thank you.
Good morning, President and Deputy President, the Ministers, and fellow members of the EPG. President, it's a wonderful opportunity and privilege to be here. I worked with you in the past in another national dialogue, and which you referred to, and it's a privilege to just be back here. But I think there's a very special task on our shoulders.
then you must have a power from that pooling. And they take them to the river, and lots of people come like this. When they come, they start fighting. If somebody wins there, then that one can take the ship. Now, ANC, before that, I'm going to just speak now. ANC, irradicated number two. People who started the ANC, by the time of ANC even on. Then after ANC even on, then you've got a central forward and the Hoshi, moving one of their countries. Hoshi is come from and it's a chama, it's a come from Hoshi. In case I do not break them for me. We come over Hoshi and no more, but how is the lava and one wow, we lose the winner, but then other things we are over, we are parliament. Our parliament, the central president parliament, he compare parliament, come shut of hope, that come shut of hope. That Hoshi, Minister, you come shut of hope. There's a come shut of hope, to start with our no fact. Then we are in a new situation here, parliament then we'll send up parliament. We must love each other now. Then we move. What do you say? Africa, our Africa, we become Africa, because Nana Matulu, Machakan Kingdom. But then tomorrow we're going to Africa. That's what the African. I'm going to Africa. The whole baby, you don't have any Washington outside November or in Africa. In the church, our church is growing because religion, Africa, we are African. That's all. I know about Botswana and I'm talking about Mozambique all over. I'm the bishop of the St. Agnes Christian Church. This is Bishop Dr. Agnes. Now, South Africa have honor in a BBA, ANC, Sokolo Abayiji, Mandela. Then from there, Mandela starts to move politics the first being even Mandela from Mandela. It is powerful. Not to say, Mandela does something, and you said, you're talking about media, being I think I'm saying
We understand you are the bishop. Thank you, Bishop.
Let's start the dialogue. Good morning. My name is Nobody Sokas. This is Nobody Sokas. I'm not a professor. I don't belong to the category of professors who are once a professor, always a professor. So it's just Nobody Sokas. I'm here because of my family. A researcher, a writer, and most importantly, an actress. Watching the debate around the composition of the Eminent Persons Group has been quite fascinating for me. I remember the time when I represented young people whose own was the youngest persons in the room. much more uncomfortable than the rhetoric about expropriation without compensation. I work in particular with issues and areas and communities that are affected by whose rights are supposed to be protected by Section 25(6) of the Constitution. These are people who live in former homelands, in former baristas. These are people who live in mining host communities. These are people for whom there is not a single piece of legislation that is permanent in this country that recognizes the rights that are protected in Section 25(6). Instead, there's the PIRA, which is an informal piece of legislation, which is always limited. So I don't represent them. I work with those communities, I activist with those communities, and I'm hoping one of the things I did was to quickly jump and look at the categories, those 30 categories that are being represented. So I'm here in many ways to help assist with the fight and to open space and talk about these incredibly uncomfortable issues